A very good evening and thank you for joining GBS News at 9. My name is Stephen George and our sign language interpreter tonight is Alan Kiama. Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has dismissed opposition leaders inciting public dissent against Kenya Kwanza administration. During a meeting with Nyandarua County opinion leaders and members of parliament at his current residence, as he reaffirmed the government's focus on fulfilling its pre-election promises, emphasizing action over political rhetoric, as Davis Karani reports.
It is this political discourse by the former second-in-command who was removed from the office through impeachment that caught the attention of the Deputy President, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, leading him into highlighting government progress since taking over office 6 months ago.
Kila jambo iko na wakati wake. Ukichaguliwa unasukuma kazi, alafu wakati wa campaign ukifika, unatoa koti, unatoa tai, unavaa t-shirt na kofia, unaenda kiwanja kuomba kura. Katika mambo ya siasa, mwananchi siku hizi anataka kusikia wewe kama kiongozi. Wakati umekuwa mbunge, wakati umekuwa MCA, umekuwa governor, senator, ama hata rais wetu, umefanya nini siku ile umekuwa kwa ofisi?
The Deputy President, who urged the opposition to find a different campaigning strategy, stating that the current campaigning model they are using will not sell out in the 2027 general elections, as Kenyans will elect leaders basing on their track record.
Unajua, mimi naona watu wengi wakijigamba, sijui watu wengine hapo sitaki kuwataja. Usiniulize itawezekanaje kila wiki naenda Nyandarua na Kenya iko na 47 counties, 290 constituencies. Nyinyi wabunge na MCAs munitengenezee roster. Unajua vile tumefundishwa kazi na rais. One day you can cover 5 counties.
Addressing Nyandarua residents directly, he pledged to sustain focus on the grassroots development.
Hii serikali ndio serikali ambaye inaenda kushughulikia na kumaliza katika wiki chache zijazo shida ya title deeds ya colonial villages zetu za Nyandarua. Nimeongea na wizara ya ardhi. Unajua wizara ya ardhi, nimeongea na waziri Alice Muthoni Wahome. Tumekuwa na haya hapa katika mkutano, ameniambia process imeanza.
Kindiki reiterated his commitment of ensuring President reinforced administration's outreach strategy, blending regional engagement with a defiant message to rivals.
Mimi najua uko siku ya campaign, mutaniuliza maswali. Si mutaniuliza maswali? Niambie wewe naibu wa rais, wewe mkiwa na rais, mulifanya nini hii miaka mmekuwa kwa ofisi? Si namna hii? Si mnajua mimi nimeingia half term hapa katikati, wakati tunaona meli inazama, tukaona watu wetu wataachwa kwa giza. Kwa sababu hii kazi tulipaswa tuanze hii kazi siku ya kwanza, lakini tumepoteza miaka miwili tukizozana, tukivutana, tukipengana sisi wenyewe. Serikali haijipingi yenyewe, wenye kupinga serikali ni upinzani.
Davis Karani for GBS News, Nairobi.
Now to the diplomatic front. Kenya is strengthening its global diplomatic ties as Prime CS and Foreign Affairs CS Musalia Mudavadi wraps up a high-level visit to the Dominican Republic from 11th of May to 13th of May. Mudavadi held bilateral talks in Santo Domingo aimed at supporting Kenya's leadership in UN-backed security mission in Haiti. The visit saw the signing of key agreements on medical evacuation, logistical support, and diplomatic training. It also marked the first ever political consultations between Kenya and Dominican Republic. The visit comes at a critical time as Haiti continues to grapple with the escalating violence and humanitarian challenges. Mudavadi is now headed to Brazil for the next leg of his diplomatic tour. Susan Nganga with more.
Prime Cabinet Secretary and Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi today finishes his 3-day high-level diplomatic visit to Santo Domingo, the capital of the Dominican Republic. The mission was to reinforce Kenya's leadership role in the multinational security support mission, better known as the MSS mission in Haiti. During the visit, Mudavadi and Dominican Foreign Minister Roberto Alvarez signed a series of memorandum of understanding focusing on safety, support, and strategic positioning of Kenyan personnel in Haiti.
At the bilateral level, the signing of the two memorandum is very, very important. One, in support of the peace mission, and for us to be able to work with you whenever they need help. We appreciate and thank you for that. Secondly, we believe that there is great opportunity for us to develop stronger links, starting with our diplomatic engagements through our two ministries of foreign affairs and the institutions there. So that covers the second aspect of the memorandum of understanding that we have executed today. We want to learn from you on how you are able to capture the attention of 11 million tourists every year coming here. That, based on the population you have, that is one person per tourist. In Kenya, we have been able to get to about 2.5 million tourists out of a population of 50 million. So definitely we are doing something right in this country.
The agreements will allow for swift medical evacuation and repatriation, logistical access, and academic cooperation between Kenya's Foreign Service Academy and the Dominican Republic Institute of Higher Education in diplomatic and consular training.
I want to state categorically that your support has been invaluable in the sense that we are able to seek the support of your country in terms of being able to evacuate our personnel when they are in a moment of need for medical support and other critical support. You have supported over 20 of our personnel in this country in the last few months, and we really appreciate it. The report we get from them is that they've received high quality support from the experts in this country, and we appreciate that. Equally, we want to state that this mission requires a lot of cooperation in terms of intelligence, sharing of critical information, and this country has provided invaluable support to the mission in Haiti. Our request is that we continue supporting each other and collaborating for the success of that mission. So we also pay tribute to your security personnel who have anchored the role of the mission in Haiti.
Susan Nganga, GBS News, Nairobi.
Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga early today reacted over concerns raised yesterday by her deputy Oyugi Magwanga about his life. Governor Wanga has called on the police to move swiftly and carry out thorough investigations into the matter. This comes just a day after Magwanga reported to the police in Homa Bay about a threat on his life.
A day after Homa Bay County Deputy Governor Oyugi Magwanga reported to the police in Homa Bay concerning a threat on his life, Governor Gladys Wanga early today came out calling the police to take the matter seriously to avoid incidences that led to the assassination of Kasipul MP, the late Charles Ongondo, Were a fortnight ago in Nairobi.
Homa Bay, we have recently faced a tragedy, and I have also seen reports of an attempt on my deputy governor, attempt on the life of my deputy governor, and I want to say that the investigative authorities should take this matter up very, very seriously and expeditiously, and investigate and do it thoroughly and as soon as possible, so that we don't get to a point where we face what we have just seen. The investigative authorities should move with speed and investigate and give the public of Homa Bay and Kenya a report on what exactly happened last night.
Governor Wanga further cleared any rumors of misunderstandings between the two of them as the Homa Bay County Chief Executive Officer.
My DG and I, have served this county together diligently, and we continue to serve the people diligently.
I've also noted, and as the people of Kabondo, we have noted the concerns that were raised by the DG over his life. Yesterday night, it was reported that there was an attempt on his life and several gunshots were heard around his security. This is most unfortunate, and let us not create a situation where there is fear within the constituency and within the county. Can the police please investigate this matter and tell us what is going on? We've just lost the area MP of Kasipul. We don't want another case of attempted assassination.
On his part, Homa Bay County Commissioner Moses Lillian said the police have been dispatched to the scene at the Deputy Governor's homestead in Kamuso Village, Karachuonyo South Sub-County, to carry out investigation into the matter. He confirmed that the Deputy Governor is safe and sound.
It is hereby that we wish to inform the public and the media fraternity of reports regarding an incident that occurred on the night of 11th May 2025 at approximately 10 p.m. Reportedly, the incident took place along the road leading to the homestead of the Deputy Governor, Honorable Joseph Oyugi Magwanga, in Kamuso Village, East Kamakag location, within Rachuonyo South Sub-County. In response to this report, the County Security Committee has this morning dispatched a team of investigators to the scene to conduct thorough and comprehensive investigations into the circumstances surrounding the incident. We wish to assure the public that the Deputy Governor is safe and in good health, and indeed we have spoken to him, and we have also advised him to take statements with the DCI.
These reports come just a few days after Kasipul MP, the late Ongono Were, was assassinated in Nairobi. Victor GBS News at now.
A stellar report there by Victor Oduny. Today in Sierra area, Kajiado East constituency, PS Musea presided over the issuance of compensation checks worth approximately 64 million shillings to community members affected by human-wildlife conflict.
The community expressed gratitude to the government for the timely support and called for further action. The leaders also demanded that livestock losses be paid at current market value. They urged for faster payouts to ensure locals benefit from conservation.
2010, 2015, 2014, labda ng'ombe ilikuwa 30,000 na imesema tuna, lakini bei ya ng'ombe leo si 30,000, bei ya ng'ombe leo ni 100,000. TG and your team na PS, you're not utilizing us enough. Wabunge wa ambao wametoka mahali kuna wanyama pori, you need to utilize us more, so that we can lobby for more money to be put in the budget, especially on compensation.
Wildlife Principal Secretary Sylvia Musea said that the ministry has rolled out an integrated campaign to educate communities on human-wildlife conflicts, mitigation, and the use of new digital system for filing claims.
Milioni 5 huwezi rudisha uhai, lakini milioni 5 inaweza kuanzishia biashara, inaweza kununulia kashamba, inaweza kujengea nyumba, inaweza kusomeshea watoto. Na ndio sababu tuko hapa kuwapatia milioni 5, sababu ni haki yenu kulingana na sheria.
The campaign also highlighted alternative livelihood options through the wildlife economy, including permitted wildlife farming, beekeeping, and ecotourism to reduce overdependence on compensation payouts. Kenya Wildlife Service Director General Dr. Erastus Kanga revealed that Kenya had earned 460 billion Kenyan shillings in tourism in 2024, with 75% of the revenue generated from wildlife-related tourism.
Once we have that 10% we are getting from tourism coming down to feed the golden goose, then this country will not be the same again. Ule mtu ambaye analalamika ndovu imekula nyasi yake, utakuwa unaona ndovu unafurahi, sababu unajua ukimaliza mwaka pesa inakuja taslimu.
He said that discussions are underway to locate 10% of the total revenue back to communities living alongside wildlife. This is Jefabuki, GBS TV News, Nairobi.
Time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming on our social media platform at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is 21114. We'll be right back.
My name is Ima Gatoru. I'm a model, a commercial model to be precise. And I've been asked this question, like, is model an art? And yes, modeling is an art. Because there are different products that you're supposed to promote or design, and you have to have that skill of you promoting that design or that product. So how you walk, how you talk, how you present yourself, like how you pose for a picture or pose for an item in your mepewa, or how you drive into a place in your mepewa. So you have to have that art or that skill for you to actually deliver what they want you to deliver. So yeah, modeling is an art.
And for the topic of the day is self-awareness and sisterhood. Self-awareness and sisterhood.
People know they're self-aware, but if you don't know how to act on it, then you're not really as self-aware as you think.
I usually say garbage in, garbage out, and whatever, you cannot give what you don't have. So impact yourself first and work on yourself. If you feel like they're draining you, well and good.
By the way, kuna kijana, unajua Ian amekuwa akinichanganya nini, and I really want us to be together. Unaniambia, Ian, acha nikwambie, ufanye hivi na hivi na hivi. Alafu tunakuja friend dinner or something, na kuna una turn up na Ian, are you mad?
You know, as adulting is adulting, right now is the real intentionality that comes in. But if you are self-aware as a person, you get to now be intentional with us. Kama mmekuwa distant, you can reach out.
So today's game is sing the artist song, right? Sing the artist song.
Nyashinski!
Aya basi, twende nalo.
Uko sawa na wote malaika na mabawa ya, wote wanapita wewe mama ya.
Everywhere, GBS.
And welcome back. Now, County Assembly denies rejecting State House invite. Members of the Siaya County Assembly have dismissed claims of snubbing President William Ruto's invite to visit State House, saying that the appointment has been pushed forward. Now, led by the Assembly Majority Leader Martin Otieno, the MCA said the visit was initially planned for Wednesday, 14th May this year, but was pushed forward due to the absence of key leaders, including Siaya Governor James Orengo, who is outside the country on official duty. Otieno said that the leaders, they are not opposed to visiting the State House to discuss development matters and affirmed that they will do so once another date is scheduled. Speaking at the County Assembly precincts, the MCAs, among them North Ugenya Representative Bernard Adala, Central Game Siaya Madigu, and nominated member Dorothy Awino, said they will go to State House as a united front. They further dismissed allegations that a section of the Assembly was planning an impeachment motion against Orengo.
To dispel rumors that has gone round that we were against going to the State House to dialogue and to articulate on issues, developments that should come to Siaya. I want to reiterate that part of the rumors that has come that we said as an assembly or MCAs that we are not willing to go to State House to discuss matter development is a null and void. And I want also to add that there is not conflict about it. We are not in disagreement. What we want is a development. What we want, as you know, we have budget constraint in our county or in budget allocations. That is the reason we wanted to visit State House on invitation by the State House or by the leaders that had talked to the president, so that we bring or we supplement our budget or we partner with the national government.
It is key that we come out strongly, because you know, if we go online and we are seeing things with the effect that the head of state did send invite and we refused, then it's something that if we don't say, then it goes on and it's a wrong image out there. The truth is that, just like my senior has said it, we are juniors here. Invite was sent by our seniors, and all of us, the 42 of us, were ready for that visit tomorrow. But unfortunately, conversations were done at their levels, and it was felt that this sitting is best done when everyone else is around. So based on that resolve, we were later informed that the visit has been rescheduled for some other times. But seated here, we just want to confirm that the entire house was as ready as yesterday for this visit, because we are not just visiting for the sake of visiting. We are visiting to also articulate issues that we feel when we work with His Excellency, then we can also of a nice help to us.
Still in the counties, Machakos County has taken bold steps to reclaim public land and enforce strict development controls. During a meeting with the Mavoko Residents Association, Governor Wavinya Ndeti outlined the county's proactive measures in protecting public property and addressing unauthorized constructions. Now, the county has already reclaimed Same Dam and Seme Primary School and is actively addressing land grabbing at Kinania Secondary School. To promote transparency, the county will now require a no objection rather letter from local residents association before any development approvals are issued. On liquor licensing, the county boss reiterated the government's firm stance. This was all discussed during the Mavoko Residents Association meeting with Governor at the White House.
Public land, Ganga, that one, hakuna mtu akona ruhusa ya kuchukua public land, na kama amechukua hata aende kotini, hata aende wapi, ni bure tu. So we need to start reclaiming our land na tuweke budget ya kufence mashamba zetu. Yeah, and we work in collaboration with them. You know, in the budget angalia maneno ya kufence, kwa tuanze kufence. Na hata zikatu, hata kama iko empty, watoto watengenezewe, wachezee hapo. As we think of what to do with it. Licensing of liquor is just the minister is not here, but we have the inspectorate here, we have bars. The national government has made it very clear. The county governments have made it very clear. No bar should be close to a school. It should be how many meters? Na hiyo nataka ifanywe na tukituende nayo mara moja. You understand? You know, I don't know why we can allow mtoto. That's why our children have become so the drunkards. Because akitoka anakutana na mtu amelewa, anaona hiyo kitu ni mzuri na mtoto anaendelea kulewa. So we must make sure all of them we close.
The European Investment Bank's development arm and Family Bank are mobilizing 14.7 billion shillings and 100 million euros in financing for businesses with a focus on women-led enterprises and youth entrepreneurs in the country. Now, the firm is providing a 50 million euros credit line to Family Bank, which will match the sum in an agreement to expand loans for Kenyan small and medium-sized enterprises and mid-caps. The financing accord announced during the second edition of the European Union Kenya Business Forum in Nairobi seeks to bolster the working capital and investment on Kenyan's small businesses, actively mainly in trade and agriculture sector. Susan Nganga with more.
On this very stage, we shall announce the signing of a financing agreement that will support Kenya's SMEs by injecting much-needed capital thanks to the EIB's great partnership with Family Bank of Kenya.
In a major move to empower local businesses, EIB Global, the development arm of the European Investment Bank, has teamed up with Family Bank to unlock 14.7 billion Kenyan shillings in fresh financing for Kenyan entrepreneurs. And the focus, women-owned and youth-led businesses.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go.
The financing deal was unveiled during the second European Union Kenyan Business Forum in Nairobi, which provided a 50 million euro credit line, which Family Bank will match, doubling support for SMEs and mid-cap companies in the country.
We will mobilize a combined 100 million euros worth of financing towards SMEs and mid-caps, active in trade and agriculture sector, with a particular focus on youth and gender investment. But even better is support for the digital revolution, which is a particular enabler of enhanced trade. The growing trade across the continent is driving the demand for enhanced digitization of all processes across the trade value chain.
The funds will mainly support businesses in trade and agriculture, with at least 50% going to women-led enterprises and 30% to youth entrepreneurs.
We understand and appreciate the great contribution that SMEs actually contribute to this economy. You look at the nature of employment, majority of the employees are actually employed by SMEs. So it couldn't have come at a better time. And as I've said, we've just done our 2025-2029 strategy, which is focusing on strengthening and deepening SMEs in this country. So for us, it's quite strategic.
The deal supports the EU Global Gateway Strategy, promoting inclusive growth in trade, manufacturing, and climate action across Kenya, and it aligns with the Investing in Young Businesses in Africa initiative led by the EIB to build sustainable jobs and expand business opportunities. Susan Nganga, GBS News, Nairobi.
It is time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming at our social media platform at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is 2114. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, I'm so much thankful to have this precious time to actually share with you the word of God. When I was growing up and when I was attending church, my former church, I was taught that, you know, although I'm saved, but as I, when I commit sin, I become a sinner. And then when I become a sinner, again, I repent my sin every day for it to be forgiven. so that I can be assured of salvation. But when I was living a life of trying to confess my sin each and every day and believing that I'm a sinner, actually I could not have an assurance of my salvation in my heart. So I thought, and I was taught that my sin is, the deeds which I do outwardly. Until the time I came to realize, for sure, I'm a person who cannot really do good. The problem is not the deeds which I'm doing outwardly. The problem is the core. The core of my heart itself is evil. Jesus, what he did, he lived among us. And then he died on the cross because of our sin. And then he rose again. The reason why now he did not just resurrect and go to heaven, it is because of, to meet the disciple and to witness that, sin and death could not have any power in his life. He wanted to manifest that eternal life.
Hello, kids. Did you know a year has 31,557,600 seconds? Why do you think so? Exactly. There are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, and 365 and 25 days in a year. We count the extra 0.25 because of leap years. When you multiply all these numbers together, you get a huge number of seconds. That's why a year feels long, but time still flies when you are having fun.
Everywhere, GBS.
And welcome back now to international news. An Israeli-American hostage was released from 9 months of captivity in Gaza during a brief pause in fighting and reunited with his family. But Israeli strikes on the battered enclave soon resumed. Israel's military received Eden Alexander from the International Committee of the Red Cross, which facilitated his transfer from Palestinian militant group Hamas.
Israeli-American hostage Eden Alexander was released by Hamas and safely transported to Israel. Alexander was embraced by his family after 19 months in captivity. He was the last living American held by Hamas. Fighting stopped at midday in Gaza after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel would pause its operations to allow Alexander safe passage. But there was no agreement on a wider truce or hostage release, as a global hunger monitor warrant of famine in the devastated enclave. Hamas said it freed Alexander as a goodwill gesture to United States President Donald Trump, who has visited the region.
Very happy to announce that Eden Alexander, an American citizen who until recently most thought was no longer living, thought was dead, is going to be released in about 2 hours, actually. And he's going to be released before the eyes of Steve Witkoff, who has done a fantastic job. I know a lot of people that have a lot of talent. I know Steve had a lot of talent. But I know a lot of people with a lot of talent, but there's one that I thought had a special.
Netanyahu said Alexander's release came thanks to Israel's military pressure in Gaza and political pressure by Trump. He said there would be no ceasefire and that plans to intensify military action in Gaza continued. The release follows 4 ways to talk between Hamas, United States, Egypt, and Qatar. Witnesses reported Israeli tank shelling on eastern Gaza City after the handover. The UN spokesperson Stephen Dujarric said the Secretary General welcomes the release of Idan Alexander. He also renewed urgent call for immediate permanent ceasefire and unconditional release of all remaining hostages.
The Secretary General welcomes the release of Idan Alexander, an American-Israeli national who'd been held hostage in Gaza since the 7th of October 2023. The Secretary General is profoundly relieved that Mr. Alexander has been freed and is now returning to his family after this harrowing ordeal. The Secretary General renews his urgent call for an immediate permanent ceasefire and an immediate and unconditional release of all remaining hostages. Hostages must be treated humanely and with dignity.
Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul Madenge.
Has blocked non-white refugee. I'll take that again. U.S. President Donald Trump has blocked non-white refugee admissions from the rest of the world, but in February offered to resettle Afrikaners, the descendants of mostly Dutch settlers, saying they face discrimination. He stated that Afrikaners were being killed, hence going further than he has previously been, echoing right-wing troops about their alleged persecution. The white refugees landed to the U.S. yesterday, and here is more on the story.
The U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau greeted the first 59 Afrikaners to arrive in hangar at Washington Dulles Airport.
The president made it clear that Afrikaners in South Africa who were the victims of unjust racial discrimination would be welcome to come to the United States.
He compared their journey to that of his own father, a Jew from Austria who fled Europe in the 1930s, first to South America and then to the United States.
Because they're being killed. And we don't want to see people be killed. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed.
Trump's February order of resettling Afrikaners cited a land law by South Africa this year that aims to make it easier for the state to expropriate land in the public interest, which has caused concerns among some white South Africans, although no land has been seized.
But we are not daunted to navigate our path through this world that constantly changes. We will not be deterred. We are, as South Africans, a resilient people.
Some of the Afrikaners were heading to the Democratic-leaning Minnesota, which has a reputation of welcoming refugees, while others plan to go to the Republican-led states, such as Idaho and Alabama. The U.S. will welcome more Afrikaners refugees in the coming months.
South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, you know, we're supposed to have I guess, a G20 meeting there or something. But we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of. But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. But it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media, television media, doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible. I have people that live in South Africa. They say it's a terrible situation taking place. So we've essentially extended citizenship to those people to escape from that.
Davis Karani for GBS Ambassador.
Tijane Thiam, the high-profile former banker turned politician, has resigned as leader of PDGCI, Ivory Coast main opposition party. His decision follows a string of legal challenges and a growing battle over his eligibility to run for president. Here is more on what led to his sudden exit.
Tijane Thiam has resigned as leader of Ivory Coast main opposition party, the PDCI, citing what he calls judicial harassment. His exit follows mounting legal challenges, including a court petition questioning his selection as party leader and a ruling that removed him from the voter registry due to national issues. Thiam, who previously held French citizenship before reclaiming his Ivorian nationality, says the judiciary is being used to block his presidential ambitions. He accuses his opponents of orchestrating a targeted campaign to sideline him. With Thiam out, the PDCI is set to name an interim leader. His departure throws the opposition into uncertainty just months ahead of a crucial presidential race. Elvin Muyodi, GBS News.
It's time for your most favorite segment of the show, the sports news. Let's get sporty. It's been a standout season for Paris Saint-Germain and an even bigger one for Moroccan star Achraf Hakimi. The 26-year-old defender has just been named the top African player in the France League, winning the prestigious Marc Vivien Foe Award with key goals, assists, and strong performances all season long. Hakim continues to prove why he is considered one of the biggest, best right backs in the world.
Paris Saint-Germain defender Achraf Hakimi has been voted the top African player in the French League, winning the Marc Vivien Foe Award. The 26-year-old Moroccan right-back played a key role in PSG's dominant season, scoring 4 goals and providing 6 assists, helping the club secure its 13th Ligue 1 title and a spot in the Champions League final. Hakimi is only the second defender to receive the award, named in honor of Cameroon player Marc Vivien Foe, who tragically died during a match in 2003. Despite facing rape allegations in 2023, which he denied and called an extortion attempt, Hakimi has retained public and industry support, continuing to shine on the pitch. The season is not over yet for Hakimi, as PSG faces Reims in the French Cup final on May 24th, followed by the Champions League final against Inter Milan on May 31st. With the African Cup of Nations set to be held in Morocco this December, Hakimi's leadership for both club and country is far from finished. Elvin Muyodi, GBS Sports.
Thank you, Muyodi. Cristiano Ronaldo's son is making his own mark in football. At just 14 years old, Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. has been called up to Portugal's under-15 national team for a tournament in Croatia. It's his first step onto the international stage and a big moment for the next generation of the Ronaldo legacies.
Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., the son of Portuguese legend Cristiano Ronaldo, has been called up to the Portugal under-15 squad for the Vlatko Markovic International Tournament in Croatia. Born in San Diego, America in 2010, the 14-year-old is eligible to play for both the United States and Portugal, but has chosen to represent his father's homeland. He started training seriously at the age of 6 and now plays for El Nasser's Youth Academy in Saudi Arabia. His skill and dedication have earned him a spot among Portugal's top young talents. Portugal will face Japan, Greece and England in their group stage, with their final match set for this coming Saturday. For Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., it's a major step forward in what could be a remarkable football journey. Elvin Muyodi, GBS Sports.
Well, we have come to the end of the news bulletin. It is always a pleasure having you on board. Let's do this again next time. Same channel, we make your news our business. My name is Stephen George, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Alan Kiema. Good night.
Everywhere, GBS.